The clan didn't fear weak children, they feared this one. Because his birth matched a prophecy that was never meant to come true. It spoke of an awakening, a power so immense it could rewrite their very history. The elders had hoped the legends were just stories, cautionary tales whispered to keep the ambitious in line. But as the boy grew, marked by scorn and ridicule, a chilling realization dawned upon them. The prophecy wasn't a myth, it was a countdown. And the clock was ticking. In our last episode, we saw the boy pushed to his absolute limit. Humiliated by those who should have protected him, rejected by his own blood, and nearly erased by the very clan he belonged to. It was a brutal, heartbreaking display of cruelty. But just when it seemed all was lost, when he was alone and broken beneath the clan grounds, something ancient and powerful responded to him. A deep, resonant hum that vibrated through the earth, a pulse of energy that had lain dormant for centuries. And that single response sent a wave of sheer panic through the clan elders. They knew what it meant. The seal was weakening. The prophecy was beginning. That very same night, under the cloak of a moonless sky, the clan elders gathered in secret. The council chamber was deep beneath the main keep, a place forbidden to all but them. There were no guards posted at the door, no servants to bring them tea. Tonight, their only companion was fear, a cold and suffocating presence that filled the stone room. One of them, the Grand Elder, trembling hands and all, approached a locked chest in the center of the room. With a key that hadn't been used in generations, he opened it and retrieved a sealed scroll. It was old, brittle, and bound by a chain of black iron. Written in faded ink made from blood and ash was the God Ninja prophecy. With a collective breath held tight in their chests, the elders unrolled the ancient parchment. The air grew heavy, thick with the scent of old magic and forgotten dread. The script was archaic, a language few still knew how to read, but the meaning was terrifyingly clear. It read, "When a child is born without talent, despised by his own blood, and pushed to the edge of death, the God Ninja shall awaken." A deafening silence fell over the room, broken only by the frantic pounding of their own hearts. Every eye darted from the scroll to the faces of their peers, searching for denial, for any other explanation. But there was none. The boy, the one they had all cast aside, fit every single line. The prophecy wasn't a blessing meant to usher in a golden age. It was a warning, a harbinger of judgment. The elders knew the full story, the truth that had been scrubbed from the clan's public history. Long ago, the clan's founder, the first to be called the God Ninja, didn't wield his divine power to protect the clan. He wielded it to judge it. He was a force of absolute balance, an arbiter of purity. When he saw corruption and greed spreading like a disease among his own people, he didn't try to reform them. He erased them, a near-total cleansing that reset the clan from scratch. The elders who came after, the survivors, didn't seal the God Ninja's power away to protect the world from its might. They sealed it to protect themselves from its judgment. It was the ultimate act of self-preservation, born from the terror of being held accountable. So, why him? Why this boy, the weakest, the most talentless child the clan had seen in 100 years? The prophecy was never about choosing the strongest, the most gifted, or the most celebrated warrior. It was about choosing the discarded. It was a cosmic failsafe. Because divine power, true and absolute, doesn't respond to pride, ambition, or strength. It responds to suffering. It's drawn to the purest heart that has been forged in the deepest fires of injustice. And in the long, corrupt history of the clan, no one had suffered more unjustly, more completely, than him. He was the perfect vessel, not because of what he had, but because of everything that had been taken away. Back in the Forbidden's council chamber, the elders reached a grim conclusion. Their self-preservation was paramount. If the boy awakens fully, if he inherits the power of the first God Ninja, they would lose everything. Their power, their status, their very lives would be forfeit. A frantic plan was hatched. They would isolate him completely, cutting him off from any potential trigger. They would monitor his every breath, his every dream, searching for the slightest sign of the awakening. And if that failed, they would erase him, quietly, permanently, before he could become the judge they so deeply feared. But fate, as they were about to learn, doesn't wait for permission from men who hide in shadows. At that exact moment, deep underground, the source of their terror stirred once more. The sealed chamber, a prison of stone and magic, began to react. Ancient symbols carved into the walls pulsed with a blinding, golden light. The heavy chains that bound the central seal trembled, rattling with a force that shook the very foundations of the clan grounds. And then, for the first time in centuries, a voice whispered from within the seal. It wasn't loud, but it echoed in the mind of one person chosen. Miles away, in the desolate shack he called home, the boy collapsed. Not in pain, not in fear, but in recognition. A feeling of coming home. As the tremor shook the council chamber, the elders scrambled from their seats, their faces masks of pure horror. They knew what it meant. They rushed toward the secret passage leading to the sealed chamber, their desperate plan already falling apart. As they ran, a sound reached them, a sound they had prayed they would never hear. A loud, sharp crack echoing up from the depths. And in that terrifying moment, they realized their fatal mistake. They thought they had time to stop it. They were wrong. The awakening hadn't just begun, it was already here.